Even with all of the challenges that so many of you have faced this year, I'm grateful to celebrate with you the faithfulness of God. He has continued to build his church in the midst of great adversity. Yes, the world faced a global health crisis, economic turmoil, lawlessness in our streets, and even political uncertainty. And it's into this tumultuous time that God has sent his word abroad, bringing comfort to the afflicted and confronting the unbelief that is rampant in this world. For Ligonier, 2020 has been a year of doing just what our beloved founder, Dr. R.C. Sproul, set out for us to do back in 1971, to unashamedly proclaim the gospel of grace and the whole counsel of God. And the Lord blessed that tight focus. 2020 saw expansive growth for this ministry, exponential outreach, and a surging demand for our ministry's teaching. This year, through all of our broadcasting and publishing and educational efforts, we have come alongside many people to help them understand the truth of who God is, who they are, how they are to live in this world, and then how to share that life-giving truth with others. I'm pleased to report that by God's grace, your support and personal advocacy for this ministry helped to reach well over 20 million people this year, and that number continues to rise. More new people have contacted Ligonier in 2020 than in any other year in our history. And in the Lord's providence, that seems so fitting as we turn the page to a new year, to our 50th year of ministry. I wish that I could sit down with you over coffee or perhaps tea and share all of the stories of transformation and what the Lord is doing through your support. For instance, I would tell you about Josh. Josh is a missionary I met just a couple of months ago. He now lives in the Middle East, and he smuggles Bibles into Iran. Before he was a missionary, though, he was an inmate in a Texas prison who was converted and then discipled using resources from Dr. Sproul and Ligonier Ministries. Or I'd tell you about Yi. She lives in Malaysia, and she wrote to us recently to say that especially in smaller towns, that they lack seminary-trained pastors, and so they rely on Ligonier to study God's Word in depth. Or I tell you about Katie. She found herself stranded in Europe during the lockdown. She was unable to leave the house, and how did she spend her time? She spent it watching Ligonier teaching series. Or I would tell you about Bill, who let us know that he's using Ligonier resources to disciple college students in India. The stories of God's grace truly are unending. You share this vision to proclaim and teach and defend God's holiness in all of its fullness, and to get that message out to as many people as possible. And so we give thanks to God for putting you in gospel partnership with this unique ministry. Here are but a few ways that God has used you to build his kingdom through Ligonier. This year, you enabled hundreds of thousands of Christians to be served this year through newly crafted online events in English and Spanish and Portuguese. You made the release of the Spanish edition of the Reformation Study Bible possible, and the Portuguese edition is coming soon. You supported the opening of our teaching series library during the global stay-at-home orders, and the time on our website, ligonier.org, it doubled, and video views on our YouTube channel tripled. You advanced a new Chinese language website and the translation of new resources into both simplified and traditional Chinese script. You helped launch the Ask Ligonier podcast and this fun new podcast called Luther in Real Time, as well as helping us to underwrite a wonderful new podcast that features the insight of Dr. Sproul, and that's coming very soon in the new year. Even here on our campus in Central Florida, Reformation Bible College is training up the next generation of Christian leaders. Your support also allowed us to pivot this unparalleled RBC curriculum designed by RC into a new online certificate program that, for the first time, is also equipping Christians outside these United States. By God's grace, minds were renewed and lives were transformed in 2020. But with nearly 8 billion souls on earth, there's still so much work to be done in 2021 and beyond. And we have so much in the works for next year that we can hardly wait for the calendar to turn. For 50 years, it has been the amazing generosity of people like you that God has used to propel Ligonier forward into each new year of ministry. RC desired for us to be in the middle of a worldwide resurgence of interest in biblical Christianity, and I'm grateful to say that that is happening. We are serving the church by equipping growing Christians around the world to stand firm for the gospel and the truth of God's word. Millions of people in 42 languages now look to Ligonier as their theological lifeline. As we enter our most important giving season of the year, hearing from you now will help us to hit the ground running in 2021. Every year that goes by, this ministry, it's growing. And we need the generous support to respond to the great need that exists. More people need to know who God is. Will you please prayerfully consider a year-end donation to help not only meet the current demand for Ligonier's teaching, but to respond to new fields of outreach and Great Commission opportunities? We are grateful for your continued support.